The Tiger I heavy tank was one of the most feared and technically complex armored weapons of World War II. Introduced by Nazi Germany in 1942 as a direct response to the shocking appearance of the Soviet T-34 and KV-1 tanks on the Eastern Front, which had exposed the limitations of earlier German panzer designs. Officially designated as the Panzerkampfwagen VI Tiger AUSF-E, the Tiger I was conceived not as a mass-production vehicle, but as a battlefield dominance machine, designed to outgun, outlast, and psychologically overwhelm enemy forces, weighing approximately 57 tons. The Tiger I was powered by a Maybach HL-30 V12 petrol engine producing 700 horsepower, giving it a top road speed of around 45 km per hour under ideal conditions, although real combat mobility was far more limited due to fuel shortages, terrain constraints, and mechanical strain. The most defining feature of the Tiger I was its devastating 88mm KWK-36L56 gun, derived from the famous German 88mm anti-aircraft and anti-tank weapon, which could accurately destroy enemy tanks at ranges exceeding 1,500 to 2,000 meters, far beyond the effective firing distance of most Allied armored vehicles at the time. This gun, combined with high-quality Zeiss optics, allowed Tiger crews to engage and eliminate opponents before they could even respond, fundamentally altering armored combat dynamics wherever the tank appeared. The Tiger IS armor was another revolutionary aspect. Up to 100 mm thick on the front hull and turret, constructed from high-grade rolled steel, making it nearly impervious to standard Allied anti-tank guns during the early and mid-war period, especially when facing head-on. However, unlike later German tanks such as the Panther, the Tiger I used mostly vertical armor plating rather than sloped armor, which increased weight and material costs while offering less efficient ballistic protection compared to sloped designs. Inside the tank, a 5-man crew operated in relatively advanced conditions for the era, with separate roles for commander, gunner, loader, driver, and radio operator, allowing better battlefield coordination and situational awareness, particularly due to the widespread use of radio communications, something many Allied tanks initially lacked. Despite its battlefield superiority, the Tiger I was plagued by serious strategic and logistical problems that ultimately limited its impact on the war. The tank was extremely expensive and time-consuming to manufacture, requiring around 300,000 man-hours per unit, and only about 1,347 Tiger I tanks were produced in total, compared to tens of thousands of Allied tanks like the American Sherman or Soviet T-34. Its immense weight caused frequent mechanical failures, especially in the transmission, suspension, and final drive systems, and made it difficult to transport by rail or cross bridges not designed for such loads. Fuel consumption was another major weakness. At a time when Germany faced critical fuel shortages, the Tiger I consumed vast amounts of petrol, often forcing crews to abandon otherwise functional tanks during retreats on muddy or snowy terrain, particularly on the Eastern Front. Tigers could become immobilized, turning them into stationary targets for artillery, aircraft, or infantry equipped with closer-range anti-tank weapons. Allied forces gradually adapted to the Tiger threat by changing tactics rather than attempting direct frontal engagements. Using numerical superiority, flanking maneuvers, air power, artillery saturation, and improved anti-tank weapons such as the British 17-pounder and American tank destroyers. Psychological impact, however, remained enormous. Allied soldiers often reported panic when Tigers were reported in the area, and German propaganda exaggerated their invincibility to maintain morale at home and on the front lines. In reality, the Tiger I represented both the brilliance and the fatal flaws of Nazi Germany's war. Technology technically advanced, over-engineered, resource-intensive, and strategically unsustainable in a total war against industrial superpowers. By 1944, the balance had shifted decisively, and despite individual battlefield successes, Tiger units could no longer influence the overall outcome of the war. After the conflict, captured Tiger tanks were studied extensively by Allied engineers, influencing post-war tank development and military doctrine, while the tank itself became a symbol of how technological excellence cannot compensate for strategic miscalculation, limited resources, and overwhelming industrial opposition. The Tiger I did not win the war for Nazi Germany, but it permanently changed how the world understood armored warfare, proving that technology alone, without sustainability and strategy, ultimately leads to defeat.